Is an ominous prophecy about California being fulfilled right in front of our eyes? What are we witnessing in California? It's unlike anything that we've ever seen before. Over the past couple of weeks, a parade of cyclones has been absolutely hammering the state. Unfortunately, the crisis is far from over because atmospheric rivers, quote unquote, will continue to funnel more rain into California for at least several more days. What I've shared so far is common knowledge at this point, but what most people don't know is that more than a decade ago, John Paul Jackson had a supernatural experience in which he was shown that a storm of incredible force, quote unquote, would hit California and that it would be a sign that precedes the colossal earthquake that permanently alters the geography of the state. And you can see the video footage of John Paul Jackson describing what he has shown there in the link in this article for you. If you live on the West Coast, the video that you just watched should chill you to the core. The following is a very rough transcript of John Paul Jackson's remarks. He said, "There is an earthquake that has been predicted to devastate California, meaning skyscrapers are going to fall, that the shape of the United States will change after that earthquake. That won't happen until after there's a storm. A major storm is going to come to California. It's either a hurricane of incredible force or it is a storm of incredible force, but a great, great hurricane or incredible force is going to come to California, and the earthquake that destroys it will not happen until after that takes place." So there's a way of saying, okay, I have time, but that does not mean that it won't be an earthquake tomorrow, 7.5 magnitude, or next week or 2 weeks from now of some magnitude. I'm talking about the one that changes the shape of California, where you don't want to live in California, anywhere in California where that happens, or perhaps even most of the West Coast, where an island ocean is formed and Baja becomes an island, and the mouth of the island ocean forms between San Diego and Los Angeles. That is not going to happen before that storm comes. That is a sign that God is giving to the people. Don't worry about that big one, because this sign will happen first, he said. For years, I wondered what a storm of this nature would look like. Unfortunately, it appears that that type of storm that John Paul Jackson described has finally arrived. These hits keep coming to California as the state deals with an onslaught of atmospheric river storms that has brought torrential rain and life-threatening flooding, mudslides, and debris flows to many parts of the state. Widespread flooding was reported across California Monday, with more than 300 reports of flooding coming into various National Weather Service offices across the state. While heavy rain drenched much of the Golden State, Santa Barbara, Ventura, and San Luis Obispo counties were hit especially hard, with more than 15 inches of rain falling in higher elevations. Needless to say, the atmospheric rivers that have been pummeling California are not hurricanes, but CNN just posted an article that compares them to hurricanes. NOAA's hurricane hunters might just be as busy now as they were during hurricane season. However, it's not hurricanes they're flying through, but the atmospheric river systems plaguing California since Christmas week. Atmospheric rivers may not make headlines in the same way hurricanes do, but they can have extreme consequences. Atmospheric rivers can span the whole Pacific. They're long and narrow, but they're way larger than hurricanes, Atmospheric River Reconnaissance Coordinator Anna Wilson said. It's interesting to note that at the time when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been seeking more attention than ever, the town in California where they live has been getting hit particularly hard. The town of Montesino, home to Britain's Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle, was pounded by rain, threatening dangerous mudslides on hills already sodden by weeks of downpours, and sparking an evacuation order. Because the mountains are right there, when it really rains, it comes down at a really high rate. It's pretty dangerous pretty quickly. This is what resident Daniel Demuyer told AFP. Montecito is normally such an incredibly beautiful place, but now flooding has brought absolutely catastrophic conditions. As Ellen DeGeneres has publicly admitted, local residents have never seen anything like this. Sadly, a lot more rain is coming. In fact, it's being reported that another massive cyclone will slam into the Pacific coast on Wednesday, as the latest storm to batter California begins to let off on Tuesday, leaving several flooding and destruction, severe flooding and destruction in its wake. Residents will be bracing for another enormous cyclone to slam into the Pacific coast on Wednesday, forecasters have predicted. According to the latest short-range forecast from National Weather Service, NWS, this rapidly intensifying weather system will impact areas from Northern California and up to the coast into the Pacific Northwest, and forecasters are warning that even more storms are coming after that one, and what we're witnessing is definitely not normal. So, this is definitely what John Paul Jackson saw. Is this what he saw so many years ago? I don't think that we can say for sure, but without a doubt, this storm seems to fit. And as I was doing research for this piece, I actually found an old Newsweek article that discussed a scientific study that concluded that earthquakes along the San Andreas Fault can actually be caused by rainfall. They said earthquakes along the San Andreas Fault in California are being triggered by winter rain and snowfall, scientists have discovered. The finding is important as it helps us understand what triggers earthquakes and when they are more likely to strike. I'm certainly not suggesting that the big one has happened immediately. It could happen very soon, or it could happen at some point down the road. But if the cyclones that have been hitting California are what John Paul Jackson saw and predicted about, that means that there is now nothing holding back the arrival of the giant earthquake that will permanently alter the geography of California. As I repeatedly warned in my books, it's just a matter of time the big one arrives. The death and destruction that such a quake will cause will be off the charts, and scientists keep telling us that the region is way overdue for a major seismic event. So if you live on the coast, on the west coast, this storm may be the final warning that you receive before it happens, so I would like to take this warning very seriously. This is by Michael Snyder. It says, finally here, my book, Michael's new book entitled End Times is now available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. About the author, he says, my name is Michael and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The materials contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. Quote, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. End quote. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is by Michael Snyder on The End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.